the dimension settings in this video. So to adjust the dimensions and its settings, just go for D enter or DIMSTYLE. So dim style or D, anything can be given here. D enter. And if you observe, we are going to get styles as annotative, ISO and standard. In some templates, we are going to see only annotative and standard. And if you want to create a new style, just click on new. And you can give the name here. Let it be style 1 for example. And it comes under which type, okay. So if it is annotative, you can keep annotative, or if you want to go for standard, you can click on standard also. So let it be annotative. We'll see how the annotation behavior will be applied for dimensions. So, and it is used for all dimensions, or if you want to create for particular type of dimensions, you can create. But whatever name we have given there, it won't be applied there, okay. So if you are using for all dimensions, then it will be applied. Otherwise, it will be coming as a sub branch. If you are creating only for linear dimensions, like whatever the settings like arrow sizes, text sizes, etc. we are providing there, that will be applied for only linear dimensions. So just as I kept linear dimensions, right now if I am going to change anything, in the preview we are able to see only linear dimension, linear and aligned dimensions, okay. So like whatever line type, line weight, etc. we need, we can apply for that. Click on OK. And you can see that under annotative we got the linear style, okay. So if you are keeping this as, like annotation as set current, it will be applied for only linear style. So let us delete this one. To delete, just go for right click and you can click on delete. I'm going to create the new style now. So just click on new and I'm going to give the name as style 1 and let it be under start with annotative. That is, default settings will be like annotative settings. So click on continue. There are different settings for dimensions, okay. So when we are providing the dimensions, we are going to get the lines, extension lines, dimension lines, text, okay. So what will be the text height, what will be the size of arrows, and how much distance we have to provide between the line and the object. So those all settings can be done under dimension style. So I have provided style 1 and under that first setting is about lines, okay. And under lines we are going to have dimension lines and extension lines. So under dimension lines we are going to have the color. So if you want to change color for the object, like what we say dimension lines, simply you can change from this list. And if you want to select some different color, click on select color and you will be getting list of colors here, okay. So just let me take red here for the lines, okay. I'm applying red color for dimension lines. And if you wish to change the line type, so if you want to go for like dotted line, hidden line, dashed lines, etc., you can choose from this list. But generally for dimensions, we are going to use continuous only. You can keep either continuous or by layer. Anything is okay. And here we are going to have the line weight option. So line weight is nothing but line thickness. Okay, so already we have discussed in properties video. So if needed, you can adjust the thickness here. Just it should be less than the object thickness actually. So, and similarly there are different options under dimension lines, that is extend beyond ticks and baseline spacing. So extend beyond ticks we are not able to edit that here. So baseline spacing we'll see that again. And next one is suppress. So suppress is nothing but dimension line 1, dimension line 2. There are two options. So if I am keeping suppress dimension line 1, we are not able to see the other part of the dimension line, okay, either like right side or the starting portion of the dimension. If you are keeping suppression for two options, then we can't see the dimension line at all and we can see only text. In case if you want to define the points and you want to get the directly size of the object without any dimension line, then you can go for these options, okay. So suppress is nothing but the objects, the dimension lines will be hidden here, okay. So baseline spacing, we already seen that in the baseline dimension. And coming to extension lines, so if you wish to change the lines for colors for extension lines, you can keep the required color over there. And under line type 1 and line type 2, if you want to change the line type, like it would be continuous or dash line, dotted line, then you can go for the extension line type 1 and extension line 2. Okay, and if you wish to change the line thickness, you can change. I'm going to keep 0.3 here. And if you want to hide, if you don't want to apply any extension lines over there, then simply you can remove this one by selecting this option. Simply they will be hidden, okay. And if you are suppressing either dimension lines or extension lines, we can't get edited this one, okay, like we can't edit these options again. unless and until these options are unchecked. Okay, and the next thing is extend beyond dimension lines. Extend beyond dimension lines are nothing but say for example you are given an object, and if you are providing the dimension lines, we'll be getting the extension lines as well as some dimension. Okay, so whatever the distance between the object and the extension line is there, this distance, that is known as offset from origin. And after dimension, whatever the extra provision or extra length of the line we got for the extension line, that is known as the extend beyond dimension lines. So in order to edit this, we can go for these options. If you are going for extend beyond dimension lines, if I am going to give it as 2.5, simply you can observe in the preview there will be a small gap, I mean like small extension of that after this red color line. If I am going to keep this as 0, and just if you are observing in preview, we see that we got the extension line till arrow mark. So if you want to provide the extension, just go for this option, and whatever the extra provision, I mean extra projection you want to give, you can give there. Okay. And next, offset from the origin. So for dimension, origin is nothing but the point on the object, right? So from there, whatever the distance you want to provide for the extension lines, the gap you want to provide there, so that can be given here. Now you can see the distance change here. If I'm going to keep 3.5, so clearly on the screen we can see the gap between the object and the dimension line like this. Okay, so these values totally depend upon the object dimensions. Okay, whatever the object we have done there, depending upon that we have to give the minimum values here. Okay, and just let us observe this on the screen. I'm clicking on OK and keep this as set current. And if you observe, for annotation there is a symbol here, and similarly for style 1 also we got this symbol. Okay, since I have created this style 1 under the annotative, we are going to get this symbol as representation of annotation style. Okay, so let us keep set current and close. So in case if I am going to draw a rectangle here, so first point, and I'm going to give the dimensions as 150 by 120 for example, and I want to represent the dimensions for this. Okay, so simply we can use DIMLIN as the dim linear command for linear dimension, or you can choose from the list here also. So dim linear, and it will be, yeah, since we have kept annotation style, it will be asking about the scale. So the default scale is 1:1. If you wish to change, you can change from the list. Okay, otherwise you can click on OK directly, and you can apply the dimensions on the screen. So first point and second point. So here we can see that the green lines are applied for the extension lines, that is the green color has been applied for extension lines and red color has been applied for dimension line. So let me zoom this object. So we can use Z enter, W enter to zoom the part of the object over there. Yeah. So we can observe the gap between the object and the line, extension line, and we can see some projection after this arrow mark here. Okay. So let me zoom Z enter, W enter, and I want to zoom this portion. Okay. So this is extend beyond dimension line, and this is offset from the origin. So the properties has been applied for this object. And next let us go for arrow marks, that is symbols. And one more thing, if I am going to give any circle or arc, when we are giving radius for this one, say for example I am going for radius or dim radius and select the object or the circle. So we can see that one small dot has been formed here in the center of this circle. Let me zoom that part. Okay, a small white color dot has been formed here, that is representing the center of the circle actually. Okay, so if you want to increase the size of that, and like if you want to show the center of the circle through plus symbol or the line, center lines, then again we can go back for dimension settings, that is dimension style. So click on modify again, and under this we are going to have the symbols and arrows. So if you wish to change the arrow sizes, I mean like arrow shape and size, then you can go for arrowheads. And since there are two arrowheads at left and right, or like two sides of the dimension line, so you can simply change the required shape for both the sides. Okay, say for example if I am going to keep a closed blank like that, simply we can see a change in the arrow marks. Okay, arrowheads. And if we are keeping closed arrows or closed blank etc., we can't see any difference in extend beyond ticks under lines menu. Okay, under lines tab. So in case if I am going to keep the arrowheads as architectural or integral, like that. Architectural tick. So let the second arrow be also architectural tick only. So coming back to lines, now you can see a difference here. Extend beyond ticks. Okay. So if I am going to extend this to 2.5 size, so you can observe that after this tick mark, the dimension line has been extended. Okay. So extend beyond ticks will be applied for architectural tick or oblique tick or what we say integral type of arrowheads. Okay. So just let us observe this on the screen. And one more thing, here we are having fixed length extension lines on the lines menu. If you are keeping this offset from origin won't be applied there. Okay. So simply we are going to fix the extension line distance over there. If I am going to fix it as 4 and extend beyond dimension line was 2, right? Let us take 2. So that we are going to get the dimension line exactly at the center of the extension line. So this gap will be provided on screen. We are going to adjust that directly on the screen. So you can observe from the current dimensions on the screen. Again, I'm going to apply, I'm going to delete this one, select and delete, DIMLIN, enter. So let it be first point and let it be second point. So you can see that the gap has been provided on the screen, like we can adjust graphically on the screen, but the extension line distance has been fixed. Okay, this is one provision. In whatever way you want to apply, according to that you can make the adjustments over there. So I'm going to remove this one. So hope you understood this one, right? Extend beyond text. So similarly, let us go for symbols and arrows again. So if you want to adjust the arrow size, if you want to increase or decrease according to the figure, you can adjust that here. So it is default 2.5 as per the default styles. Okay, we have created style 1 under the annotation style. Okay, so these are default settings for annotative style. We are adjusting it for style 1 right now. Okay, I'm going to change it for 3.5. And coming to center mark, we can't see any center marks here. Okay, so let us take okay, I will show the center marks in another style. For annotation, I think the center mark is not applied here. Yeah, there is no difference on the preview here. So I have adjusted to 6, but we can't see any adjustment. So because of yeah, actually due to some fit options also and alignment of text, we sometimes we don't get the center symbol here. We'll check this again. I will show this in another style now. So and another one is arc length symbol. So when we are giving any arc alignment, I mean like arc dimension, when we are representing the curvature, so there will be arc symbol and the value of the curvature. Okay, curvature length. So if you don't want to get this one, just you can go for none option. And if you want to show this arc symbol above the text, okay, above the value like this, like crown, then you can go for above text dimension text, and preceding is nothing but it will be coming before like this. Okay, and next coming to radius jog dimension. So actually for circles or arcs we can give some radius jog like this. We are going to get the zigzag symbol. So to get that we are going to use the dim jog line. Okay, sorry, the radius jog dimension. So to use that we need a circle or arc, and then you can go for dim jog radius, dim jogged, and you have to select arc or circle, and you will be getting, it will be asking to specify the center location, and wherever you want to place that dimension line on the circle, you can place it there. Okay, so just click there and you have to locate the zigzag symbol. So this is mostly used in section figures. Okay, if you want to show any section detail, then you can go for this. And if you observe, this angle will be 45. So if you want to adjust that, you can go for D enter again. And another thing, if you want to show any zigzag symbol in dimension, like linear dimension or align dimension, we can go for dim jog line, enter. So just we need to select the dimension line, and we'll be asking to specify the jog location. So I want to specify somewhere here, and you can observe that this location, I mean this dim jog line is somewhat smaller than the text. Okay, so if you want to adjust this, okay, if you want to increase or decrease with respect to text, these all settings are done in D enter, and we can go for modify again. So under modify symbols and arrows, and we are going to adjust them here. Radius jog dimension, so the jog angle can be adjusted here. So it should be greater than 0 and should be less than 90. Okay, so if I'm going to adjust it for 30, and if you are reapplying that, we can see a narrow portion over there. Let us take 20 so that we can observe it clearly. And linear jog dimension, so jog height factor, if you want to give 2 times or 2.5 times greater than the text height. Okay, so we can give 2.5 text height and click on OK, set current and close. So now we can see that the jog dimension, Z enter, W enter to zoom this portion. Now we can observe that this zigzag portion is somewhat greater than the text height. Okay, so if I'm going to extend this like this, it is somewhat greater than the text height. Okay, we can observe this when text is at center, exactly center of the dimension line. Right now it is above the dimension line. We can relocate that positions also now. So let us go back for de-enter, and before that let us apply dim jogged again. So just I'm going to select the circle and specify the center location and dimension location and the zigzag. Okay, so here it was 45 degrees and here it is 20 degrees. We can see the narrowness in that zigzag symbol. Okay, so let us go for de-enter again, modify, and here next option is text. Okay, so here we are going to discuss this dimension break after this one. So going ahead for text, we are going to have the different text styles as we discussed before. You can create a new style by clicking on here, or if you have created a new style, it will be represented on this list. You can apply it directly. Okay, if you want to create a new one, just click on this, and whatever the modifications you need, you can do that here. Okay, so next one is text color. If you want to adjust the text color, you can apply the text color here. And similarly background, like if you want to give any background fill for the text, then you can go for this option and let it be none. And coming to text height, okay, it is asking for the text height. Let it be around something around 6. Okay, and just these are all set, I mean like these values are set according to the given figure dimensions. Okay, and fraction height scale is not activated here because the primary units are in decimal format. Okay, if we are going to give that in fractional format, and then we can see that fraction height scale is 1. That is the scale factor for this 1 by 4, 3 by 4, the fractional values. Okay, so if I am going to decrease it for 0.5, then we can see a difference here as the size has been decreased to half. Okay, simply it has been adjusted just beside the main dimension. Okay, so if you want to give this type of settings, you can come to the text and the settings can be done here. And let us keep this as decimal only. We shall see this in primary units. Coming back to text, yeah, it is asking, there is another option, draw frame around text. So if you are keeping this option, we are going to get the outline around the text of the property dimension line. Whatever the property we have applied for the dimension line, that will be applied around the text again. Okay, and coming to text placement and text alignment. Text placement is with respect to dimension line, with respect to horizontal direction and vertical direction. Okay, and text alignment is nothing but as per the given direction of the dimension line. Okay, if you are giving inclined, the text will be inclined, and if you are giving vertical, the text will be vertical. If you are keeping aligned with dimension line, in case if you are keeping horizontal, whatever directions we are giving there, that will be converted into horizontal direction. Okay, so in whatever direction we are going to give the dimensions, but text will be adjusted in horizontal direction. And ISO is in case if text is not fitting inside the dimension line. Okay, so I mean the text should be in the default position. If text is not in the default position, then we are going to get a leader like this extension, and the text will be placed like this. Okay, so ISO is nothing but mixture of horizontal and align with the dimension line options. So let us keep align now. And coming to text placement, we are going to have vertical, horizontal, view direction. So under vertical we are having center. So if you are keeping center, the text will be adjusted to center of the dimension line like this. And if you are keeping at above for vertical, above, outside and GIS or similar, actually they will be above or just above the dimension line or outside of the dimension line. Okay, if you are keeping outside and keeping the text alignment horizontal, we are going to get the text alignment or text totally out of the dimension line. So if you are keeping above, so we can see the difference in horizontal dimensions. Okay, so if you are keeping aligned, then above, outside and JIS will be similar. JIS is nothing but Japanese industry standard type of textile. Okay, I mean text placement. And coming to horizontal, so with respect to horizontal position of the dimension line, it is at center line. If I am going to keep it at extension line 1, we can see that dimension line has been placed at extension line 1 position. Okay, so if you are keeping over extension line 1 or 2, we can see that above the extension line, I mean extension line will be extended and the text will be placed. Since let us go for lines, since I kept fixed length extension lines, we can't see the extension lines over here. I'm going to remove this and we can see the difference now. Okay, simply the extension line been increased and on that the text has been placed when we are keeping horizontal as over extension line 1 or extension line 2. So let it be center only. And next one is view direction. So generally we'll see the dimension from left to right only. If you want to keep right to left like this, you can keep, just will be mirrored or like reversed, it will be in reverse direction. And next one is offset. So offset is nothing but so that space between the text as well as the line. So before adjusting this, we'll see these all the things on the screen once. Yeah, so actually there is a very minute distance between the text as well as the line. Okay, let me zoom this. We can see a small spacing between these two. Okay, so if you want to adjust that, just go for D enter and you can go for modify, and under text we need to adjust the offset from the dimension line. So I'm going to keep it as around 1.25 like that and click on OK. Let us see this difference on the screen only. Close. So there is a gap increased between this text and the dimension line. Okay, so let us zoom out. We can see some difference between the line and the text. Okay, so for this purpose we can increase the distance between the line and the text by using the offset from dimension line option. So this is about the text option. And coming to fit, so under fit is nothing but we are going to apply the fit options for dimension as well as the text also. So whatever options we are going to select here. Okay, so if you are selecting arrows, arrow marks will be outside. Let us change symbols and arrows to closed fill so that there will be a clear understanding. Closed fill arrows. Coming to fit, so if you are keeping arrows, arrow marks will be outside of the extension lines of if the dimension lines are congested. And if we are keeping text, arrow marks will be coming inside and text will be outside. Both text and arrows. So both the text and arrows will be acting outward. And always keep text between extension lines. So even though text is fitting or not, the text will be trying to come between the extension lines. So I will show that on the screen. Say for example, I'm going to provide a very minute, very lesser dimension like this. So if you observe, we are not able to see the dimension outside. Okay, I mean the text is not fitting between these lines, but although it is coming, I mean it's trying to come between those lines. Okay, this is like fit the text between the extension lines even they are not fitting inside. Okay, that is always keep text between extension lines. Okay, so if I am going to keep arrow marks outside, we are going to get one extension line here. I mean one dimension line in between. Okay. So if you don't want to get that, just under fine tuning, we are going to have the draw dimension and between extension lines. So just you can uncheck this box and you can see that when arrow marks are being placed outside, there will be no dimension line inside. Even though arrow marks are outside and you want to get the dimension line inside between the extension lines, then you have to activate this option. Okay, you have to check this box to get the dimension line like this. Okay, and suppress arrows if they don't fit inside is nothing but if you are keeping arrows outside like this, we can't see the arrow marks. Suppress is nothing but hidden, they will be hidden like that. Okay, and coming to text placement, if you are keeping text, so text will be coming outline. So when text is not in the default position, place it beside the dimension line, over dimension line with leader and over dimension line without leader. Let us observe for this example now. If I am keeping beside dimension line, beside is nothing but just beside, just near to the object outside. So we can see that the text has been placed beside the object over here. So let me zoom this part now, and de-enter, modify, and another option for this is over dimension line with leader. With leader is nothing but something projection like this, okay? And over dimension line without leader, the text will be try to adjust above the line, okay, above the dimension line without any support. If it is with leader, there will be some support. Without leader means it will try to come above the dimension line with certain distance, okay? These are the different provisions for dimensions. If you are giving very small dimensions, then we can adjust by using the fit options here. If you are keeping either, automatically it will be adjusted according to the given dimensions. And here under scale for dimension features, we are having annotative, and the other two options are deactivated, okay? So as we created this style under annotative, the default option is annotative. I mean, the annotative option has been checked here. So if you are keeping annotative, we can change according to this ratio. Let us check that on the screen. Click on OK, set current and close. So whatever text, I mean sizes, whatever arrow sizes or the distances we have given there, those are all acting in 1:1 ratio. That is, whatever the distance we have provided there, according to that we got the spacings. If I am going to increase this, so default it is 1:1. I'm going to keep it as 1:2 now, okay? And I'm going to give the values, I mean dimensions now. You can see some difference here, okay? The spacing has been increased, arrow sizes has been increased, and the text size has been increased, okay? So like this, if you want to increase the sizes, I mean dimension features like arrow sizes, this text sizes, and the gaps between them, so we can increase by using this ratio, okay? Right now I set it for 1:1 again. So de-enter. And if you want to give the manual scaling, you can provide the manual scaling instead of the annotation scale. Just by unchecking this box, you can use overall scale of. You can provide the scale of the required factor. If I am going to keep it as 0.5, you can see some difference, okay? All the sizes has been decreased to 0.5 over there, okay? Let it be one. And another one is scale dimension to layout. Layout is nothing but we are going to adjust our drawing as per the paper, and according to that the sizes will be adjusted, okay? So you can use overall scale of 1 here. So this is about the fit option. And next one is primary units. At starting we are going to set the units, whether we are going to draw in meters or centimeters or feet, etc. So if you want to change that, okay, so if I want to change for decimal format, and in case if you want to change it for engineering format, that is whatever decimal format or whatever the input we have given in decimal, that will be converted into feet and inches if you are keeping engineering or architectural, okay? So if you want to change format, simply you can change by selecting the required format here. Even if you are keeping engineering or fractional, like architecture or fractional, we are going to get the fractional format here. If you are keeping horizontal, the text will be placed like this. If I am going to keep diagonally, we are going to get the fractional portion, that inclined line over there, oblique line. And similarly, another option is not stacked. Just it will be placed as a different number just beside the main dimension, okay? So if you are keeping decimal, the fractional format will be turned off and decimal separator will be turned on. So here we are going to get period, comma and space. As per Indian standards, we are going to use the period here, okay? And if you are keeping comma, it will be showing as comma. If you want to provide only blank space, just go for space here, okay? Generally we will be using period like 33.86 like this. And precision, if you want to change the precision, you can change here, okay? If you want to go for higher precision also, you can go for higher precision. So let us check on the screen. Okay, set current and close. So you can see that dimensions has been changed to different precisions, okay? And here we can see 120 on the screen. So let us zoom in this object. So Z enter, W enter, and I'm going to zoom this part, okay? So we are going to get 120 only because the default zero suppression is on here. So if you are keeping leading, whatever values like 0.5, 0.25 is there, those will be represented as 0.5. And if you are keeping trailing, So if instead of 120.000, it is showing only 120. Okay. So zero separation is nothing but if you are getting zeros after the decimal point and you want to hide those zeros, extra zeros, simply you can go for trailing. Okay. In preview, you can see for this option, this value. Okay. And coming to this round off, if you want to round off for nearest values. Okay. So here, for example, there is 25.75, right? I'm going to give it for 0.5 for example, and click on OK, set current and close. So simply this has been changed to 26. Okay. Obviously, if you are giving 0.5, it will be rounded off to the next value. If you are giving 0.05, it will be rounded off to next decimal. Okay. Like this, whatever you need, whatever type of round off you want to provide, you can provide it there. And next one is angular dimension. So angular dimension is nothing but, so default there will be some angular units already we have said. If you want to change the angular units also, we can change it here. Okay. And next one is prefix and suffix. Prefix and suffix is nothing but if you want to define any symbols like at the rate or diameter or text. Okay, so whatever text you want to provide there, you can provide it there. Okay, either symbols or text, anything can be provided over there. Okay, so like this we can adjust the primary unit. Same settings has been given in the alternate units also. So coming to alternate units, so almost options are same here also, but if you want to define the another type of unit for the given dimension. Okay, for example, the default units are set in decimal and you want to show the alternate units in engineering, so simply you have to give the multiplication for all units. So just remember, while giving this multiple, fraction like multiplier for the dimensions, just consider the very small units. If I am giving 1 mm, okay, whatever drawing we have done there, if it is an mm and you want to convert into feet and inches, you have to take the inches value only. So let me open the calculator here. So I'm going for calculator, control 8 on the screen. So just let us cancel this, close, control 8 is for calculator or quick calculator can be given. You can see the unit conversion option here. Okay, so I want to convert from millimeters to inches. Okay, so whatever factor I'm going to get, you can copy paste or you can type that value over there. So I want to convert millimeters to inches or meters to inches. Just remember, you have to convert into inches only. Just consider smaller units. So I want to convert 1 mm. 1 mm is equal to 0.0397 value over here. So simply you can click on this calculator symbol and it will be pasted here. So you can copy this. Okay, it will be represented here. Just control C and let us go for D enter again. So click on modify and under alternate units you can place simply you have to turn on this value and multiply for all units. The default value is that one only. So simply you can control V, paste it here and just change the unit format for engineering, and we can see that there will be changes on the screen like this. Set current and close. We can see that 120 inches or like 120 mm is equal to 4.724 inches. Okay, actually you have to set the correct unit and you have to give the correct format of the conversion. Okay, so next one is tolerance. So alternate units are used to show the other type of units with respect to the primary units. If needed, you can apply, and all the other options are same as primary units, and where it should be placed, after primary or below primary. So you can adjust it here as per the requirement. And the next one is, last one is tolerance. Tolerance are nothing but if you want to show the variation of the dimension, like that is plus or minus or in the format of limits, then you can go for tolerance. If you are keeping none or basic, we won't get any tolerance values over there. If you are keeping basic, just we are going to get the separate outline for the text. And in case if I am going to keep the symmetrical here, we can see that it is showing 34 plus or minus 0. That is upper value and lower value, lower limit or same. So if you wish to change the precision, you can change the precision, and if you don't want to show the extra zeros, you can go for zero separation and you can keep the trailing option check here. So if I'm going to give the value, the upper value as 0.5, and you can see the change in preview, that is it is showing as 34 plus or minus 0.5. Okay, this is one type of tolerance. and another one is deviation, that is upper value will be different and lower value will be different. So if I'm going to give 0.25 for lower value, you can see 34 plus 0.5 and minus 0.5, and the 34 has been placed with respect to the bottom line here. I mean it could be in the middle also. If you want to adjust that, go for vertical position and just click on bottom or middle or top as per the requirement. If I'm going to keep in the middle, the main dimension will be coming in between this one. Okay, it will be aligned with respect to left side. If I'm going to keep it at top, it will be aligned with the top tolerance. Okay, so let it be in the middle. And scaling for height, if you want to reduce or increase the tolerance height scale factor, and then you can reduce it here. Okay, so let it be 1 only. And coming to another type of method for tolerance is limits. So simply it will be added. If the default value was 34 here, right now it is showing 34.2 here, sorry 34.5 here. Okay, so lower value was 0.25, simply 0.25 has been decreased and it is showing as 33.75 here. Okay, so like this we can adjust the tolerance and tolerance alignment. It is with respect to decimal separators or with respect to operational symbols, like that is if I am keeping deviation or symmetrical, if I am going to get 34.5, this plus minus will be adjusted with respect to that decimal separator, like for example deviation. So this will be applied for deviation. If it is with respect to operational symbols, it will be applied with respect to plus and minus. Okay, aligned with decimal separators, that is if I am going to get 34.5, these two will be adjusted with respect to the decimal position. Okay, otherwise operational symbols, that is plus and minus alignment. Okay, so like this we can adjust the dimension settings, various types of settings like lines, symbols and arrows, text, fit, primary units and alternate units and tolerances. And after setting these all the things, click on OK and set current and close. So whatever the changes we have made there, that will be represented on the screen. So like this, whatever number of types of dimension styles you need, you can create and apply for your figure.